Okay guys, Ron here. We got a Belleview City Council meeting tonight and I don't know what's going on because this place is absolutely packed. I have no idea why there is this many people here, because last week there was like, or the last time there was like 7. But we're gonna see what's going on in here and find out why there's so many people here tonight. So enjoy the festivities, as it were. Last week we had to go in the other way.
Over the rollback rate that is needed to fund the budget is 13.56%, and the reason that the ad valorem tax revenues are increasing is due to the growth and increased property values in the city of Bellevue. In Resolution 23-05, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Bellevue, Florida, adopting the tentative levying of ad valorem taxes for the City of Bellevue, Florida, for the fiscal year 2023-2024 and providing for an effective date. March?
This is our first public hearing for the 2024 fiscal year millage. And as you said, it's 5 mills. It's been 5 mills for 6 years, I believe. So we haven't raised that, but that 5 mills does bring in additional money because of the growth predominantly and property values, as the mayor stated. Do you have any questions?
Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against Resolution 23-05? Okay, I'm going to close the public portion and turn it back to the commission.
Motion to approve 23-05. I'll say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All right, call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Goldman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dwyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipsey?
Yes.
Mayor Bukowski?
Yes. The next item on our agenda is Resolution 23-06. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Bellevue adopting a tentative budget for the City of Bellevue for the fiscal year 2023-2024 and providing for an effective date. Marge?
Yes, the total budget for the 2024 year is $15,465,552. Of that, the general fund budget is $9,256,624. Water and sewer budget is $5,559,653. The special revenue recreation impact is $103,600. The special revenue police impact fees is $140,500, and the CRA fund budget is $405,175,000. This is about $9 million less than last year, than the current year, the 2023, and that's because we had all the large water sewer projects this year, and they're not, of course, next year, so it brings it back down to our normal kind of range. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against Resolution 23-06? Okay, I'm going to close the public portion and turn it back to the commission. Commissioners?
Motion to approve that. Second.
We have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. Mariah, call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Goldman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dwyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Levesey.
Yes.
Mayor Dukowski.
Yes. The next item on our agenda is Resolution 23-07, a resolution of the City of Bellevue, Florida, providing for staffing for the fiscal year 2023-2024, reaffirming its policy regarding filling vacancies in the city workforce and providing for an effective date. Sandy?
Yes, every year we establish the minimum number of employees that we need to function appropriately, and this year it's up to 59.5, I believe. During the budget hearing, staff requested an additional customer service representative and 2 additional water and sewer technicians. That's because of the growth in the area. Last year, mid-year, in this current year, mid-year, you approved also a full-time code enforcement officer and our full-time police officer, which are now included in the exhibits. So, recommend approval of the resolution establishing the names.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this resolution? Okay, I'm going to close the public portion and turn it back to the commissioner.
Motion to approve resolution 23-07.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please.
Mark, real quick, I'm assuming that the budget reflects this, it won't be a problem.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Maria, call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Goldman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dwyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Levesey.
Yes.
Mayor Dukowski.
Yes. The next item on our agenda is the first reading of ordinance 2023-11, Internet Cafe Regulation. Ordinance 2023-11, an ordinance of the City of Bellevue, Florida, related to simulated gambling devices and internet cafes, amending Chapter 14, Article 4 of the City of Bellevue Code, providing for authority and purpose, setting forth findings of fact, providing for definitions, providing for a prohibition of the use of simulated gambling devices, providing for exemptions, providing for conflicts with state law, providing for violation, enforcement, penalties, and remedies, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for repeal, providing for inclusion in code, and providing an effective date. And this is under Fred and Chief. Do you want to start, Ben?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, Commissioners, at the last meeting, you will recall, I advised you that Chief Holland asked me to come down and visit with him. I did come down. He informed me that he had been informed that there were a number of internet cafes here in Bellevue that had illegal machines in them, that the operators knew that they had illegal machines. And it so happened that I also had a meeting with General Counsel for the Florida Gaming Commission. During that meeting, I asked if they had the ability to come in and check all the internet cafes in Bellevue and assist us in that regard. I was informed that they were a rather new agency with a limited workforce, had responsibility for the entire state, and would be unable to do that. They could come in and take, I guess, a walkthrough and assist us, but in terms of expecting a state agency to police those things, that would be up to us. Chief Holland informed me that we didn't have the manpower nor the expertise. If we had to seize machines, we didn't have the wherewithal to store them. And also, the internet cafes, considering all of that and those offenses that surround them, the state police department would not be able to adequately police the community and continue to deal with this and ensure that the activities of the internet cafes were legal. So I made the recommendation that I made. I believe that Chief Holland has a presentation for you.
Correct. Last week, Detective Wiley, along with an agent from the Gaming Commission, inspected all 8 of our internet cafes, and he's going to provide you with a report and a short PowerPoint presentation.
Thank you.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening.
On August 28th, the Bellevue Police Department conducted a walkthrough check of the 8 internet cafe establishments here in the city. I was accompanied by a special agent with the Florida Division of Gaming Enforcement. This agent has extensive knowledge and training related to gaming devices, and he has investigated gaming establishments throughout the state of Florida. I've been consulting with this agent since July, after owners disclosed to Chief Holland that some of the locations had illegal gaming devices in operation. Following the walkthroughs last week, the agent has advised me that based on his training and experience that all 8 locations in the city of Bellevue are illegal gaming establishments per Florida State Statute 849.01. Our walkthrough found that all of these establishments have illegal slot machines that are outlined in Florida State Statute 849.16. This conclusion was based on the agent's observation, our conversations that we had with several of the managers, employees, and patrons as well. These locations on the screen are the 8 internet cafes here in the city, and this is the order that we conducted our walkthroughs last Monday. The following footage is from last week. You will hear how a fish game table is played and how patrons are paid out. You will also hear about the web-based slot machines, slot games that these establishments are now using.
I'm just coming to take a look around, trying to understand these places. That's pretty much it. Expensive video game? I can stay home and play expensive video games. I got enough of those at the house. What's this thing do? To get some points. Oh, yeah. So you get enough points and then you get paid or what? Okay. So you just come here, put your money in and start playing? Most of the time you're gonna lose. But I hear you. I hear you. So if I sat down and put a couple bucks in, I could start playing?
Yeah.
These photos were captured in July this year, showing the freestanding slot machines that she referred to as Firelink. These are from 2 different locations. Several of the locations in the city have them at this time. Multiple locations now have these web-based machines that the state gaming agent informed me is essentially the same thing. They are using a web-based program to play slot machine games at the location. In addition to the slot machines, the state agent informed me we observed this kiosk at several locations. He had received tips throughout the state of the existence of this machine, but he said Bellevue was the first location he had seen this. This kiosk allows you to enter your phone, and you are sent an app, or I'm sorry, a web link to download an app or to play the games on your phone. Then you can come in and redeem your points for a payout. So essentially, you could come in, register, go back to your house, go 2 states over, play the games, come back, and you're still able to receive payment for the games that you're playing.
Did you want to add anything? Did you want to add anything?
No, ma'am, I think, we're making the right decision to move forward to, as you heard the employees say, that people are losing their, mortgage money, their light bill money, and we cannot investigate these, and we don't physically have the money, the location to store the machines, or the time to investigate 8 different locations.
Thank you. This is a public hearing, and I know that we do have some people signed up to speak, either for or against this ordinance. Mariah, why don't we start with the cards? If you can just go, just start with this one, and we'll call those people up, and then after that, anyone who hasn't filled the card, I'll ask to come speak.
Okay. The first card I have is Michael Council.
Yes, sir, and please state your name and address for the record, and again, you'll have 2 minutes to make your presentation.
Michael Campbell, citizen here in Marion County, born and raised in Marion County. Served in the United States Army, war veteran. I've been frequenting these internet cafes for a number of years. Many years I've been in Bellevue, also living on Ocala. Bellevue as well. Chief mentioned that he pointed out from the video that people losing their light bills, mortgage money, and all that stuff. They do that by scratch offs too. There's the local convenience store too, by scratch offs. They buy alcohol there. We're gonna shut down all those places too. I mean, people spend their money how they want to spend their money. Whether you're selling gaming systems, alcohol, cigarettes, they all say what? Gamble responsible, drink responsible, drive responsible, be a responsible adult. So if you choose to take your bill money and go and spend it on whatever, whether it be gambling, drugs, whatever it might be, that's on you. You pay the consequences. We're all adults. We all make grown folks decisions every day. When we leave our homes every day, we have a decision to make. We're gonna do the right thing, or we're gonna do the wrong thing. We all know what the right and wrong thing is. So why make the people who enjoy the internet cafes? I'm speaking from a veteran standpoint. I'm a war veteran. I've met a lot of war veterans in these places. So most of us, and I'll speak for myself, is emotional, and it's a form of therapy. It doesn't matter to win or lose for the most part. Everybody wants to win, but we know in anything, any type of game. I don't know if I'm gonna win on my way home. I might get an accident and die. I might lose that battle. I don't know if I'm gonna win or not. So going to the internet cafe, I go in there with the same mentality. I don't know if I'm gonna win or not, but I go in there and enjoy myself. It's the emotional stress reliever for me and most veterans that I talk to that frequent these places. So I ask you guys to keep the veterans in mind.
Sir. 2 minutes at a time.
Thank you very much. We
The
appreciate
veterans
your
in
time.
mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next one.
Kim Conley. Travis Stork.
And please state your name and address.
Southwest, 84th Lane, okay? I'm just nervous.
Okay, good.
I wasn't gonna speak, but there's been so much talk of the internet cafes, you know? Like, there's so many safeguards put into place. And I was reading a lot of things online and had to do with like the crime and the alcohol and the type of people that come in. We have armed guards, we have security cameras, we have the thing on the door that you request to have, so if somebody's going out, you can see how tall they are. We have videos that they keep those recordings, so down the road, you can rewind a week ago and pull something up. We have if you come in with a mask, pull your mask down, look at the camera for 30 seconds. There's so many safeguards that we have at each internet cafe. And as far as the slot machines, those were removed from the majority of the business. I know you had 10 business days from the time of the letter from the gaming commissioner. We did that. They are gone. They are no longer in the business. A lot of our customers are retirees. They have the grandkids during the day, they come to play Little at night. You know, I had my grandbabies, they ran me wild, I couldn't wait to come and play. There's retirees who have nothing to do. They come and they socialize. It's not about coming and throwing $20 in the machine. It's coming and seeing the faces. You know, it's women going someplace to have fun without alcohol and half-naked women running around. We want to go and have adult entertainment without aggressive behaviors. That's what these places are, because they are monitored, they are secured. We have top-notch security, we really do. I got my daughter a job. I have no fears of her being there because of all the rules, the regulations, and the safeguards that we take, that the owners take, to make sure that that is a safe business. So I understand not being able to go check the games, not being able to check that, but with all the safeguards.
Time.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, next.
Travis Thorpe.
Please state your name and address for the record. And
Hi, my name is Travis Thorpe. I've currently been a city resident for over the past year. My address is 5528 Southeast 110th Street, 6 doors down from the police station. My wife is the owner of Pasta Pier in Bellevue. I also help manage the day-to-day operations of the business. Previously, I used to feel as though any business coming into Bellevue was a good business as long as they brought traffic in. I no longer feel that way, particularly about the Fish Arcade games. I have many examples of why I can tell you that, including being attempted to be ran over in my own parking lot by someone who had just left the Fish Arcade games and refused to pay their bill because they lost their money there. It's on a report at the police station. That's just one example, and the last example that I've had. Unfortunately, we tried. We gave these people a chance. Didn't work. They knew what they were doing when they put illegal gaming systems in. They didn't care. They took them out, so what? They'll be back in. Unfortunately, the demographic changes in the late afternoon to the early evening from little old ladies to degenerates and derelicts. Next morning, you can go to these places and look at the parking lots, and they're littered with cigarette butts, black and mild tips, little shooter liquor bottles, because all of them seem to be conveniently located near a liquor store or a gas station. They're cesspools. They are not supporting our little league teams. They're not supporting our high schools. They're not supporting anything here, really, other than the turkeys that they bring to the police department every Thanksgiving or Christmas. And if they're that important to the city, I will be happy to donate double the number of turkeys that they give. Double. Please, I'm asking you humbly to vote this ordinance in. I'm asking you to reread it again in 2 weeks and vote it back in a second time. Thank you to this commission for the gentrification and beautification, and to you, Mrs. Mayor, for your great work with this city. Thank you, I appreciate you. Please do what's right for the citizens and the kids in this community.
Thank you very much. Mariah, next.
Leslie Wyndham.
Please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 2 minutes.
My name is Leslie Wigman, and I represent 5624 Northeast Jacksonville Road, Ocala. I'm one of these people that I think that's kind of a slanderous thing to say about, it's like talking down to somebody. There's addicted people in every part of our society, whether it's alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, shopping, whatever it is. And if you have those kind of issues, I don't drink or do drugs or do anything. This is my enjoyment. When I go, I only frequent Moonlight, and I've been a couple times at Dragon House, and I've been treated with nothing but utter respect. They are very, very well protected. Everybody is like family in there. They treat you very well. I've never not paid my rent or not paid my electric. I don't think that's everybody. That's like saying everyone that goes to Hard Rock. People get on the highway, normal people, as you want to call them, to these people, and they'll go out for a Saturday night with their wife and their friends and jump into their car and have some beer in or some booze in and run all over to Hard Rock. Well, it's not that easy for a lot of people. And as far as giving back to the community, I know that there's 3 of these women in here that tithe 10% of all their earnings to their church. Okay? And I donated toy drives to the one in Ocala 3 years ago, and turkey and Thanksgiving drives 2 years ago. And it's a form of enjoyment. It's a way to feel like if I don't want to go out and get drunk and act like a moron, or I don't do drugs, or I don't want to go and all these other compulsions. If you have an addiction, you stay away from those situations. If you're a normal human being, you can go to O'Malley's and have 2 drinks and go home and have a great life. You can go and you can put a $10 or a $20 bill into the machine and not go home and sell your kids on the internet, if you will, okay? So everyone, you have to guide yourself in your decisions on what your limitations are. And if you know you have a problem or an affliction, stay away from it. If I was an alcoholic, I wouldn't go on that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. All right, do we have any other cards? I don't. Okay, so do we have anyone else who would like to speak for or against this ordinance? Yes. No, please state your name and address for the record.
Got your back, brother. You're right.
My name is Benjamin Owens. I currently reside at 13600 Southeast 50th Court in Summerlin, Florida. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I moved down here about 15 years ago. I live with my wife and kids. I currently do reside at one of the posts, which is on the screen for the Internet Cafe. I am with staying open with these Internet cafes, only for the simple fact that I've gained so many friends, I've gained family members, with the exception of a job and just getting to know people. I don't feel like these are illegal gambling locations because, like the man said, you can go to any of these gas stations and you can get a scratch off, and that can be a gambling. You can drive down the road and it can be a life or death situation. That's also gambling. I was also a firefighter, also for I'm sorry, nervousness is in there. I was also a firefighter, and I just wanted to see us come together as a community because I'm an armed officer and I back the police if there's any incidents. I've been to multiple posts where we have a camaraderie of people who think about the security and their safety and also well with the city of Bellevue. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Please state your name and address for the record.
I'll exercise my Fourth Amendment right to just keep private in who I am. Thank you. I'm going to make this real short. Liberty is very, very difficult. It is. We got 250 years coming up of what we did in 1776. And my brother back there that served is right. Absolutely. We're being regulated enough now. And enough is enough. Okay? We are grown up people. We don't need directives. And we certainly don't need you to tell us how to live.
Thank you, sir. I apologize, but you can only get up and speak once. I'm sorry. Next, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Bud Chair First. I live in Oslo, Wausau.
anything or no?
Never give your name, never give your address. It's permanently on record. You don't have to do that.
People lose their
They
mortgage.
cannot force you to tell who you are.
Studies alcoholism, that's way more dense. Okay, they drink and do drugs, all them, with all the money. Okay, we see that in the news every single day. Okay? Then,
I'm sorry, can we please, in the audience, it's difficult to hear when everybody's talking, thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
then, you know, you have the elderly. What do we have in Bellevue for the elderly to do? They'll tell you nothing. They'll come to the internet cafe with $60 to $80, spend all day there, get drinks, snacks, you know, and have a ball. They come out laughing, happy. If you take that away from them, what are you going to replace it with? A bar, an alcohol, and with all bars, what do you have? Drugs, crime. I'll put up the crime rate against the internet cafe against a bar any day. And like the other lady said, you have security there. We have gone through the whole rule and obeyed by your rule about having guards, being open this time. And when y'all came through and said take out certain machines, it was done. I mean, we are doing what you say, but now you still want to punish us. Is that fair? But not only us, you're punishing that elderly, which I'm telling you, everyone that came in would tell you, I'm not driving a car guard. I'm not driving to the SYS Center. You know, it's too far for me to drive. And a lot of them can't meet the drive because what happens if there's an accident on I-75?
Thank you, sir, thank you very much for that. That's it. And please, name and address for the record, and you'll have 2 minutes.
Candace Norton, 4430 Southeast 111th Street, Bellevue, Florida. I've been in Bellevue, Florida my whole life, and I was here 18 months ago fighting the same cause. I am tired of leaving a local restaurant with my children with people who were hollering, acting the fool, passing the ambulance in Bellevue PD at PJ Super Test. It used to be a fuel station where my daddy had a tab and I could fuel my gas pump with. It brings the traffic here that is not necessary for us who are here for generations after generations, raising our families, our children. That ballpark, all of the benefits that we talked about that they were going to bring back to us. We did try it. Travis is right, we tried it. I don't see anything going back there. It's us who live here, year after year after year, doing what we can to make it better. So the benefits of it definitely do not outweigh the risks that we take every day. Our police officers are overworked, EMS is overworked, it's not right. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak for the commission this evening?
Sure.
Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 2 minutes.
See there?
Thank you. I want you guys to understand, when you buy a lottery ticket, it's taxed. You buy beer, it's taxed. Cigarettes, it's taxed. Fuel, it's taxed. Your license is taxed. Anybody in here with a gaming commission that can tell me they pay taxes? Can you tell me how much taxes they pay? How many businesses are in the city of Bellevue that are paying taxes legally? How many aren't? So if I was to tell the chief that I got 14 prostitutes and 8 bags of cocaine in my house, I guarantee he finds the resources to take care of it. Correct?
Yeah.
But when it comes to something they admitted is completely illegal, we can't find the resources. Where's the tax dollars? You want turkeys? I'll help Travis pay for them. You tell me any benefit that has come out. Tell me $1 the city has gotten taxes from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Yes, sir. Name and address for the record, please, and you'll have 2 minutes.
My name is Manish Patel, address Northside Plaza. And this gentleman say about tax, I got 19, 21, 22, 3 years, most of the people pay the tax. If you want to guys see, we can, we can show you video.
Oops.
So I want to just let you know. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oops.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak before the commission on this topic?
There's the taxes.
Ocala, Florida. This is my pastime on entertainment. I don't like movies, I don't like bowling. I work a 40+ hour job a week. And this is where I feel comfortable at, have established outside family members and feel well, safe and protected at. Can we at least have something here in the county that I live in? We're not asking for much. I don't see alcohol at the exception I go to, which is Moonlight. I've been going there since they opened the door. I consider myself another cashier because I found a family base with them. All we're asking for is that little something. I don't think that's too much to ask, because when I come to Bellevue, not only am I going to the internet, I'm purchasing gas here, I'm buying food here, I'm keeping the money here in Marion County. I'm not driving to Tampa, I'm keeping it here where I was born and raised at, Marion County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else who would like to speak before the commission this evening on this topic? Yes, sir. Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 2 minutes.
Come on, I voted for Fourth Amendment, right?
My name is Sheldon Weatherholt. My address is 1317 Lakeshore Drive in Vermont, Florida. I've been in this business since 2014. I own GameX Arcade. I did this for one reason and one reason only, and that was to give people a place to go where they could socialize, make friends, feel safe, be entertained. I don't do it for the money. I pay almost $30,000 a month in payroll to my security and to my staff. I pay rent of $6,000 a month here. I pay for insurance here. I think that if you ask anybody who walks into our room, they feel safe and comfortable. We clean up our lot. We work with the police if there's ever an issue. We have security cameras. We have everything that has been asked of us to do. We've changed our games. We tried to do everything by the books. Again, we only came here because we were welcome here. And now I feel like we're not getting a fair shake because I hear some of the things that are said, and I would have to dispute or disagree with a few of the things that was said about the armed robberies and the dangers. But that's about it. That's all I want to say.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak for the commission on this topic? Yes, ma'am. Name and address for the record.
Tara Asher, 11732 Southeast 55th Avenue, Bellevue, Florida. I actually live in the city of Bellevue, not Inverness, not Ocala, and I'm here every single day, Monday through Sunday. I have a 2-year-old. I don't even feel comfortable going into a Family Dollar because it's right next door to a fish beans internet cafe. I don't feel comfortable going anywhere where a security guard has to stand outside. You know, 9/11 happened, but they have TSA and security guards. I mean, it's not a safety measure. Nothing good happens after midnight. There's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 cops in here with guns.
Is there anyone else?
I bet she's absolutely terrified in here.
And please state your name and address.
And torture cuffs.
1814 Northwest 1826 Avenue. Uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable almost all of my life, having to deal with all kinds of crimes in my neighborhood or anywhere you go in this world, you're going to deal with crime. That's just a fact of life today. We are not escaping anything concerning crime. Crime is here, and we just have to deal with it as it comes. We have to pray and keep praying that everybody is protected. Everybody. The law enforcement, overworked. Everybody is overworked. I'm overworked. I have been employed by these people. I felt safe with the security. I pay taxes. When I come to Bellevue, I pay taxes. I go to the stores, I go to the restaurants, I go wherever I need to go to pay taxes. And I support the business because it gives me something to do. It gives a whole lot of us something to do without having to worry about the crime because we are safe with having the police force, the security guard. That's what we're supposed to have.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak for or against this? Please state your name and address for the record.
Chad Salmon, 14965 Southwest 35th Avenue, Railroad, Cali. I'm the supervisor for one of the armed security companies that do the fish games. And I can tell you time and time again how many times I've helped Bellevue PD stop disputes at other businesses in the same parking lot, as well as communicate with the local police since the staff is small and overworked. That gives you guys another 14 to 16 armed security officers watching the main strip that goes through the city. And we have personally helped the officers. This is how I provide food for my kids. And I can tell you again how many people have come in and said, oh, I'm so glad that you're here, I feel so safe. They let their guards down when we're there because we are there to serve and protect, similar to the police officers. We're doing service to the community. I pay taxes. I spend a lot of money in Bellevue between driving back and forth, checking on my guards, getting them lunch, doing whatever needs to be done so that they can get their jobs done. And we are out here. We cannot stop people from being in the parking lot after closing hours drinking. There's a high rate of homeless people. Nobody can do anything about that. Walmart has empty alcohol bottles in their parking lot. It's everywhere. It's right outside the gas station. So you can't stop that. So you can't hold that against the internet cafe. And like I said, I've never had a problem. I've never had one issue in any one of our closings. We have 4. Never had no problems. That's it.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak before the commission this evening?
Do you get to speak one time or can you speak
Just
twice?
one time. Yes. And please state your name and address.
I'm not against the internet cafes, I'm just against the fact that people put a lot of money in those casinos. And they need to be taxed and looked at, like send someone out to verify that, because a lot of people, it's not against, it is the point that people lose a lot in there. And there's a lot of money be put in there. And other than that, I can't.
Good job.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on this topic? Okay, there's nobody else? We're gonna go ahead and close the public portion and we'll turn it back to the commission. Commissioners?
First off, I appreciate the fact of everybody coming out here to address the situation. What I heard this evening is a lot of people that don't necessarily live inside the city limits telling us what they want to see in the city. I did hear from 3 people who live here in the city who say they do not want the internet cafes. I've been retired for, I think, almost 2 years now. I don't know what the situation's been with them over the last 2 years, but the prior to my retirement, the situation was not very good in a lot of them. I know of overdoses that occurred, that people got dropped down 2 miles outside the city with no one calling the police. The security guards that I've talked to here recently, very cooperative. Before these guys came in, no cooperation. We had an ordinance where the security guard was supposed to stay outside. Numerous times I drive by, no security guard outside. Cite the business, come back 2 weeks later, same guard, staying down on his post. Not saying that's these guys, because these are all new guys. but in the past, and the main problem I have is if we turn our heads for 2 seconds, there were illegal machines in there. They're gone now. We turn our heads again, what comes back in it when they're not there. And I don't believe I've ever seen an employee of Publix or any place that you went into tell you how you're gonna be ripped off in the establishment that the officers are talking to you. I mean, to sit there and I'm not anti-gambling per se, but
Why
for
would
someone
they
to
just
sit
sell you
there
a ticket?
and be so
That's a dumb thing to
about,
say.
oh yeah, they lose their light bill, they lose their electric bill, they lose, you know, I pulled up outside the one next to the CVS and the lady left her kids unattended in the car so she could go in and get the money off of the app that Sergeant Miley was talking about. She wasn't even playing at the location. She was playing from home, ran inside and left her 2 children in the car. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody, like the gentleman said, everybody has a right to do what you want with the money. But for a quality life for a city of our size, and the amount that it would take to regulate all of this, I just don't see it feasible at all.
Sergeant Miley, can I ask you a quick question? When you went in last week with the agent, did he see any machines that he thought were illegal?
Yeah, so just to clarify, all of the locations have illegal games. The freestanding slot machines that were there previously were taken out and they have been replaced with a web-based slot machine game. And, you know, per what he advised, all of those locations that have that are legal. The way the fish game tables operate, those are illegal too. And that's per the gaming agent.
Okay, thank you.
One quick question. If you can use a phone from 2 states away to play the games, then we're getting into like federal type of crimes.
Possibly. And again, just to go along with that, these games are not being regulated. They're just being played in-house. There's no regulation as to the money coming in or going out.
Anyone else?
Yes, the good and the bad. Definitely agree with a lot of these people about having a place to go. I wish that we could come up with places for adults to do things that were on a different note. And as far as rights and stuff like that go, I agree that, people can spend the money how they want. Not to be rude, but if you lose your money and can't pay your bills, then that's on you. On the other end of that, though, when it's charged to infringe on other people, that's one thing that comes into effect. Now, as far as the machines go, until we had the actual machines they admitted were illegal, I've seen on social media, I've heard it tonight about how illegal they are. We've gone round and round with the state attorney, the Fish and Game, until this incident happened, the games that were in there were legal. People can twist it all they want on social media and talk all over their heads like they know what they're talking about. But that's one reason we stuck with it for a while, because technically by our state, they were legal. But now they call illegal games in. Even with the legal games, we had problems with these places. And there's obviously a reason that other municipalities have done away with these places. And that's another thing that they're seeing. Some of the problems that they were having with the internet cafes and some of the crime, I questioned the chief a year ago about, how much of a problem was there. And one of the things that came up, I believe somebody mentioned that we have more crime and more problems with the bars than we have the internet cafes. But then I also was told that mainly because they're handling their problems themselves. So when they do that, it's not getting reported, it's not getting handled.
It is handled.
By law.
Oh,
continue doing what we're doing and end up putting a tax burden, because that's what it will end up being, is hiring more law enforcement, hiring more staff to handle the problem. Like the game commission told us, we have to store machines, we have to do this. And I'm not gonna put a tax burden on the citizens of Bellevue who live here. I've talked to some of the employees that work next door, to some of these cafes, and they look at me point blank and start telling me how terrible it is, how the problem it is, that they don't feel safe at times when they go to their car, when they go to close at night, you know, what's in the parking lot. We gotta do what we gotta do, in my opinion, to take care of the citizens that live in the city of Bellevue.
It's not your job.
I have to respect everyone that came in here tonight, spoke their piece, and I can see both sides of it. One of the problems we have as commissioners here at Bellevue especially, is the fact that we'd love to have a place for adults to go to, and I can understand why you would want to go there and spend time. It is your money, and I don't want to take that away from you, if you do it if you want. But the biggest problem we have as commissioners and as of the city of Bellevue is the fact that the state gaming commission said they're illegal. And if they say they're illegal, it doesn't leave us with a whole lot of choice. And we can't sit back here and say, okay, gaming commission in the state of Florida, we don't want to believe you, we're just gonna go ahead and let it go. We tried, and you all know we did try a couple of years ago when everybody was shutting down, Ocala shut down 62.
You need to FOIA that. You need to do a FOIA request and get that video for one thing. All right. And you also need to FOIA that officer and find out exactly who he went with, because he blocked him out. Because this is hearsay right now. You need written documentation that he said that those games are illegal and why. Okay, these guys are treading on thin ice. They're dealing with Title 42, 1983, which is a civil rights violation.
People can do with their money whatever they wish. She called me a couple of weeks ago to let me know what the requirements would be for the police department and what the actual police sent. The fact of the matter is that I have a fiduciary responsibility to the citizens of Bellevue. There's only 5,800 of us in the city. There's a lot. We heard earlier in the evening that our police budget just to have an extra officer was $80,000 of the $144,000 that we were allocating for the competitive budget. We would have to have a storage facility we would have to pay for. We would have to have a detective. We would have to go into each of these places and play them for 30 days according to the state's regulations. We don't have the money, and I'm certainly not going to put tax on the citizens in order for us to actually allow it to stay. Now, I know this is first reading, and I don't know if somebody from the consortium of fish games people want to come in the next meeting and say, hey, we'll donate however much the chief would say we're supposed to do it, so you can stay. But my only thoughts in making any decision here is based on what it costs the citizens, and I cannot put that burden on them.
Mayor, Chief, remind me again, what does it cost us to start putting them on the road, put a new officer on the road?
Well, in excess of $100,000. You have to pay a training officer for 4 months, every day that they're in training, outfit them with their uniform, car by itself is over $60,000. So it's well over $100 for each officer, road officer. The problem with fish game establishments is takes some extremely specialized training. One, they don't believe in all. The people from the gaming commission get it at the federal level. That's why we had to call them in. We can't make that determination legal or illegal game. We don't have the capability or not. Based on their inspections of all 8, pointing out illegal machines. If we were doing that investigation today, we're gonna have to call in a moving company, seize those machines, store them for the next year until this plays out in court. That's quite an expense that's gonna be dealt to the city.
Thank you.
I appreciate everybody coming here and speaking today. I know it's not always easy to get up and talk about information and prevent you guys from having the courage to come up and tell you how we feel. And I certainly understand everybody's perspective. I've been a staunch supporter of free enterprise in the city on a variety of different issues here, and I will remain a staunch supporter of free enterprise to protect the right of legal businesses to operate in the city. And that's why myself and the rest of the commissioners put together the list of restrictions and regulations on the internet cafes several years ago, because there were some concerns, and we try to keep our government regulations to the minimum that we have to have in order to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens. And that's what we did. We put some restrictions in place and some regulations, and as the commissioners pointed out, they worked for several years, and everything was, we didn't have any issues. But as Commissioner Livesey pointed out, now it's been brought to our attention that we have illegal machines, and not one internet cafe, but in all of them, as Sergeant Riley has found when he did his inspection. And for me, I understand that sometimes legal businesses will do something that's illegal. We all know that we have bars that might break the law by serving a minor, and we don't close every bar in the city because one bar has had one violation. But in this case, because it's basically every internet cafe in the city, it's a systemic problem at this point in time. I understand that the Florida statutes are fluid on this topic, and they change. They've changed several times over the years, which makes it difficult for the internet cafe owners to keep up with what's legal and what's illegal. But the bottom line is that right now, many of the machines that are in all of these cafes are not legal, and for all of the reasons stated by the chief, all of the commissioners, it really leaves us with no choice but to go ahead and pass this ordinance at this time. If anything changes at the state level and the state's able to get a handle on this and figure out a way that people can make this work, and they know what's legal and what's illegal, and that they can help municipalities like us regulate it, then perhaps it's something that can be revisited. But at this point, again, we simply have no choice. We can't.
Actually, they do have a choice.
Continue to allow
That's a lie.
businesses that we now know have illegal machines to continue to operate. Commissioners, any other comments?
I'll make a simple motion to approve this order now.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
If there's no further discussion, Mariah, call for the vote.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Goldman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dwyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Livesey?
Yes.
Mayor Guzekowski?
Yes. Thank you, everybody who came out this evening to speak on this topic. Our next public hearing is the first reading of ordinance 23-12, garbage can removal. Wait a minute.
I tried, brother. I tried, man.
We are going to take a break for a few minutes.
So this is what government does, guys. A piece of paper and a pencil, and they take your rights away.
There's only been 6 police reports to the entire city of Bellevue in the last 2 years from this area.
This is what they do, man. Piece of paper and a pencil, and they take your rights away. I tried, brother.
He tried. So what does that mean? How soon they're talking about closing?
It's going to be interesting.
You guys get up there and say something.
That cop order has monitor. That cop order has monitor. He ain't changed.
Yeah, right.
He need our free term money. They been before they got here. They all already talked about it.
Oh, and they're not allowed to do that, by the way. That's called collusion.
But they have.
Oh, I know.
You can tell they have.
I can tell you, I made my first appearance here 2 weeks ago. And you saw what I did when I went up there.
Yep.
I didn't tell them who I am. Right. They have no clue. And they have no clue what's coming their way. I have documents. They're frauds. Their oath, they have no bond. They do not have a bond. They're impersonating an elected official. And they admitted it. You guys have no clue what these people are doing. I research, man. I'm a digger. I got a big shovel.